Hello and welcome to the stream. I'm Constantinos and this is Lovely Sim Racing. And today it's Chill Chat and Dev. So basically we're not racing. In fact, I'm just I'm not going to even code today and work on the Lovely dashboard. I kind of screwed everything up. As of this point, Lovely dashboard is kind of off, like the version that I have, not the one that you guys may have. So I completely botched it. I'm trying to update and optimize how I display the MFMs and default settings, and it's a pretty big process, and I have to exit SimHub completely and try and fix it. But I won't be working on the dashboard. Actually, this stream might be cut down really short. What I want to show you on this stream, because there was some questions in my Discord, and I always love answering questions, is how you may use the control mapper in SimHub. So this would be possibly something more like a tutorial, if anything else. So yeah, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat. I will, for the best of my ability, avoid answering any of those and basically record this session for it being a tutorial for using the control mapper. What's it called? Control mapper, isn't it called control? Yeah, control mapper in SimHub. And to make it even more interesting, I will let me turn on a few things here because I have everything turned off, to be honest. Everything should be on now. Okay, everything's working. So I will show you how to actually let me see something. I can reach it. And I will be setting up this wheel. So I just put everything together, screwed on the QR and the SRM adapter and everything working with this. I have not even plugged this in. So the idea is I will show you how to set up the mappings in SimHub and show you how I've set up the Artura Ultimate. I've set up the Fanatec 2.5, and this one will set up from scratch. So we'll do all of that. It's a process. It's a 3-step process. It is, even if you don't have multiple wheels, because up until now I didn't have and I didn't need it, but even if you don't have multiple wheels, it actually is, it makes sense to use it because you can use these mappings on anything. You can even use these mappings on Stream Deck, I think. I haven't tried it, but you can. So it's just a way to use, basically, and put that there. It's basically you create an alias between your sim and your devices. So your devices will always call up an alias of that action, and SimHub will send that action to your sim. So this way, it doesn't matter what wheel you have, the wheel will just call up the alias, and the alias will map it to wherever the sim is. It doesn't really matter. So let's get to it. Let's take a look at this thing. So let me move this here and go over to this environment where I can show you a few things. So where do we start? We start off with the control mapper. It is important that you have VJoy. So VJoy, just Google it and download it. It's a small app. It runs in the background. I don't even know. It's like super small. It just basically emulates your controllers. It's required for the control mapper. And always make sure, if I go and find my VJoy, there it is, configure VJoy. Yes, please. Just make sure there's 128 buttons, which is the maximum number of buttons that you can map. Yeah, there's 128 buttons that you can map in SimHub. The next thing you need to do, and this is kind of important, I mean, if you are already, sim racing, if you have a game set up, you already know pretty much what you want, what actions you want. Do not confuse this with what's in the game and what's on your steering wheel. These are just aliases for the actions you want to perform. And if you see here, I've got shift down. There are a few when you set up control mapper. There are a few already, so I just have them in there. But you can see I've added a lot more. There's shift down, shift up, brake balance, plus, minus, turbo pressure. I didn't even put this. It was there when I found it. I didn't even remove it. So you put all of these aliases. These can be anything you want. These can have any name that you want. So ABS, down, increase, decrease, KERS activation, DRS activation, horn. I'm not using that. It's an alias. And as I said, there's 128 aliases you can use. So pretty much you can put, for all of the sims, all of the aliases here. You can even have separate gears. So if you have an H shifter, you can have gear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can do that. You can also have, obviously, engine map increase, decrease, and also have separate engine map 1, 2, 3. So all of these, anything you want, are 128 of these things. And how you add them, so I even added things that have nothing to do with the sim. So DDU brightness decrease and DDU brightness increase. You can map anything you want. This is where you create all of the aliases. It's important to understand the aliases are just actions that you want to map to something else on your computer. So how do you add them? It's fairly simple. You just have a list. As you can see, number 83, I can add anything I want here. In fact, I was thinking, let's do wrong thing. Front ARB plus. I don't even use this. I'll just put it in here. Front ARB minus rear. Let's do rear ARB plus rear ARB minus, and let's do the weight jacker. I don't even know if weight jacker has plus or minus. I'll just do it. Honestly, I've never used this. I just know that it exists because someone asked for it. So weight jacker is plus minus, and when I did the research to read about it, weight jacker is depending on the track. There's on one wheel it stiffens the shock absorber, something like that, and you just can modify that to help you turn in whatever. It doesn't really matter. I've added it. So now I have these aliases. I added, front ARB and rear ARB. Okay, fine. They're right here. Now, what you need to do is you need to go to your steering wheel, and you can already see for the Ascher, the Ultimate, I already have these. These are mapped. Now, if I click on anything on my steering wheel that is using this, so let's say the flashlights, you can see it's mapped there. The headlights, it's mapped. Wipers, it's mapped. I also have the next dash screen. I removed left indicator and right indicator. I'm not using those anymore, but pit limiter is there. The pit settings, game HUD and OK action, my mute button. I have left indicator twice? No, maybe. Yeah, ABS, brake balance up, down, traction control, TC to cut up and down, ABS. Everything is mapped to this thing here. And how do you do it here? Shift down, obviously, and shift up. I even have a button for true dark mode. You can hear it, it's sending the command. It's not doing anything. I also have my up, down, left, right, and my actions for the MFMs, which I'm using for the dashboard. You map everything here. Don't forget, these aliases all are listed here. So in this panel over here, the output mapping, this is where you put all of your aliases for every single game. If 3 of your games have a flashing for lights, you add it once here. It doesn't matter, just once. And you will map that to the game when the time comes. I'll show you how to do that. But if one has flashlights, the other one doesn't, you still add it here, and you can use it only where you need it. Okay, so this is just a list of all of the mappings across all of your games. So shift up and shift down, across all of your games, it'll be the same. So you only put it once here. And then for each wheel, so here for the Artura, all you have to do is you go to map controller, you go and find, let's say, do I have everything here? I've mapped everything because I'm using the steering wheel. But then again, you can, for instance, let me remove something, right? let's remove clear mapping. So the next dash screen. This is an action that I have a button. I'll show you right now. Let me switch over to the POV. Actually, no, I think I have the camera here. Ah, there it is, of course. And now I can zoom in on the wheel. So I have this little button here. As you can see on the screen, I have selected next dash screen, and this is the action I want to perform for that specific alias. Clicking on it, it mapped it to button 4. Done. I can do this for every single map. Obviously, if I don't have something mapped to my steering wheel, it won't ever show up in here. So you can see the Ascher Artura Ultimate has so many options, whereas my Fanatec 2.5 has a lot less. These are all mapped to the same thing. So shift up and shift down and everything, they're mapped to the same aliases. Okay? And you're done with that. Now, this is the important bit. And let me launch ACC. Shit, I launched iRacing. I don't want iRacing. Launch ACC. And once I launch ACC, I'll show you how you can get these aliases into your game. That is the small and tricky part where you need to be a bit careful. And you will need your phone. You will need a device to do that. Alright, good. You obviously go to your options and you go to your controls. Okay? You don't need this anymore, at least not anymore in this case. So what you need to do is you go back to, okay, hold on a second, go back here and all the way down, open the mapping assistant on my phone. You scan that QR code and I'll show you what you get. Let me zoom out. Good. So when I scan this QR code, it will launch SimHub, a listing of all of my aliases. This is everything. I'm getting notifications. Great. Stop. So it has all of your aliases, and this is the full list of aliases that is in this column. All right? You have it here. You're done. If you change anything here, don't forget you must refresh your browser on your phone. Now, this is how you do it. Ignition. Let's clear that. You usually, when doing this, you click on this and you say, I want my ignition to be this button. And you click on the steering wheel, right? You're not supposed to do that now. What you're supposed to do is you find where your ignition is. There it is, right there. And watch this when I hit ignition. It says VJoy device button 17. We don't care about button 17. These are the aliases which are being mapped to the game. Okay? So now, that ignition alias is mapped to your ignition. If I were to do the starter, for instance, I click on here to capture it, start engine, hit the simulate here. It captured it. VJoy device. Okay? So once you do that for all of the options in the game, this goes for every sim. For all sims, you will use your phone and you will use that to simulate the aliases in-game. Now, having done that, it's fairly easy to understand that my steering wheel is mapped in SimHub to that alias, and that alias through SimHub is mapped to that control. So now if I hit this button over here, which is my ignition, clicking on it, as you can see, it's triggering it. This is not directly triggering the in-game. This is triggering SimHub, the SimHub alias, and the alias is triggering the game. Now, why is this a good thing? Well, since I'm using multiple wheels now, I don't need, actually let's leave the controls on. I don't need to remap every single control every single time. I can remove the steering wheel, I can add another steering wheel, and that steering wheel will have the same mapping. Let me try it with my Fanatec before we go on to the other wheel, which I will live set it up. So let's remove this. Please forgive me because I have a really long cable, which I'm trying to fix. Let's get this out of place here. Let me remove the emulator because this is not a Fanatec wheel. And let me throw on my 2.5 Fanatec. So remember, everything has been mapped here as well. Okay? So now, this is a brand new wheel, brand new buttons. This is the button over here that I've mapped to ignition. If I click on it, it should work. And it does. Ignition. It doesn't matter. Shifting. Still works. Everything works. Pit limiter. Everything. And this is the back button, obviously. So everything is mapped through SimHub as an alias. And in your game, you map it using your phone as an alias. Pretty simple, right? Now let's do this off a blank device, brand new device. Let me remove this. We don't want the steering wheel anymore. Let me toss in the emulator again, so Fanatec knows that this is actually a steering wheel in place, and go to my coding scene. Perfect. As you can see, I only have two steering wheels right now, the Ultimate, which is unplugged, and the Fanatec DD1, which is connected. It's always connected. Now, let's pull up this very simple steering wheel. Okay? So this is the R305 with the BP2 button plate from Turn Racing. I have not connected this. This is brand new. So let's put it on. It's on, and let me connect it to the USB I have here. Done. So now it's on the USB. Now what I need to do is add new source controllers. This is a brand new steering wheel which I want to add. Oh, there it is. It found it. Nothing else. I haven't done anything else. And hit OK. So now in here, there's nothing mapped. What I need to do is map this steering wheel to the aliases that I need. This doesn't have as many inputs as the Ultimate, and it has even, you know, less than the Fanatec as well. Doesn't matter though. I click on Map Controller, and I start saying Shift down. Click on this, Shift down. I'm mapping the steering wheel to these aliases. Now, brake balance. This is increase, so that way decrease. I'm using the rotaries on the steering wheel here. Maybe I can actually have this and zoom into the wheel just so you guys can see as much as I can. So I'm using this, I'm rotating at. What else do I want to put? ABS. So ABS, I want to put this over here. Decrease, rotate it, increase, rotate it. DRS, nothing that. Camera change, I want to have this as a click. It captured it. Headlights. Headlights would be this one on the inside, and I want to have, do I have flashing lights somewhere here? Did I pass them? Let's just do ignition here, start engine here. Wipers, I don't know if I'll have them. I don't really care right now. Pit limiter, important. I'll put it here. Navigation. So I want up, down, left, and right. Let's see what else. Traction control, cut, decrease, increase. I won't put engine map because flashlights, there it is. You just go through all of these aliases and you map them directly to your steering wheel. Okay, next dash screen, I don't even know. I'm not going to put anything else. I want to put my my MFM action. So this is A, this is B, this is C, and this is D. So I can change the MFMs on my dashboard, and the pause menu. This one, I don't know. There's so many things you can actually add here, and you can add anything you want. And I'm done, right? Click OK. So now as you can see, if I'm clicking things, these are mapped to these aliases. Super simple. But honestly, it's that simple right now at this point in time. Everything's mapped. I haven't mapped everything on the steering wheel, but it's mapped. Now, if I go back to my ACC, I don't need to map anything here. Ignition. There it is. Starter. There it is. Pit limiter. It's already working. And this is why I think this is pretty cool. There is one more thing I used. What was it? How was it? I remember you can also use these in for other apps as well. So for instance, I think I did it on a Stream Deck. I'm not entirely sure. I may be wrong. But as a matter of fact, you can use this anywhere you want. Let me just check the Stream Deck. if I have this here, if I put, what would that be for the Stream Deck? Would it be system hotkey switch? If I put that there, click to assign, would this work? So if I say camera change, no, it's not working in there. Just for games? Yeah, maybe it's just for games. Pretty sure I used it somewhere though. Oh wait, no, I'm wrong. Right, so I am stupid here, so check this out. There is, under custom, so I forgot to show you this, because I'm actually pretty stupid. Stream Deck integration. Because I know I did it, but I just didn't, rehearse this whole thing. Stream Deck integration, plugin installed. You click on that, and it installs a plugin for your Stream Deck, which now, in the Stream Deck menu, you just need to go to custom, trigger control mapper role, go there, and yeah, you got it. These are all your aliases. These are all the aliases that are available in SimHub as an alias. So in fact, I can map on my Stream Deck the up, down, left, right. I can do the pit settings. I can do anything I want. Anything. This is massive. I mean, I knew that was there. I never used it. A lot of people have been asking me, how you do the multiple wheels and whatnot in Discord. So I think this is the ultimate tutorial on how to use a control mapper. It is, at first, it might seem it's kind of hard, or it's something that you may not fully grasp how it works. But I think this last, what is it, like 20 minutes, whatever, showing you around this. I think it's more than enough for you guys to actually use it. And this is good. Let's say you have, multiple wheels. Yes, of course, that'd be great. Even if you don't have multiple wheels, though, imagine you can use these aliases on your Stream Deck. So it's more than just multiple wheels. Of course, it works great for multiple wheels, like these over here. Let me get rid of this. Let me switch back. As simple as that. Unplug the wheel, toss it off, drop it, throw it, bring up your next wheel. Oh man, this wheel is so heavy. Put it in there and plug it in. And basically that's it. Once it's plugged in, this wheel is now ready to be used with any game. So I think this is fairly this is actually a really good solution. Connected, everything is working again. There it is. Flashlights, headlights. So you can map anything you want in your steering wheel any way you want. You have 128 inputs to use and map them any which way you want. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. As is, I'll probably want to do more of these. Today I'm doing it through the live streaming. If I have time, I'll probably create videos dedicated to these things, but I actually do not have time to create videos and publish them. So they're going in a live stream and I'll just chop it up and put it out as a separate video. So anyway, thanks for watching this tutorial. Now I'll go back to the live stream. All right, guys. The chat. Hey, Mark, where were you, man? You said you were away. What happened? And now I saw you going back in. Welcome to the stream. Sorry, guys, for kind of avoiding talking to the stream, but I wanted to record that first session for the whole control mapper thing. I'm trying to find time to do these things. Alexander Warski, regards from Poland. Hey, I've never been to Poland. That's a place I want to go. Robin, how you doing? You were preoccupied, Robin, I know. You didn't even speak to me, which I am offended now. Martin, nice wheel. Yes, it is. It's a beautiful wheel. It is an absolute beast of a wheel. I made changes. I've made changes to the button set this morning. I'm going to create a tutorial on this wheel as well. The number of options you have on this wheel, it's just amazing. So I'm basically changing. I had in here, if you recall, in my previous streams, I had left indicator and right indicator. I don't use the flash. I don't use my indicators. I don't. So what I want to do is use these plus and minus buttons and map this over here button. Depending on which position it's in, it will change different things. So you can have like position 1 is brake balance, 2 is traction control, 3 is TC2. Engine maps. It could be your ERS mode. It could be your ARB, front, rear. It could be weight jack. It could be anything you want. You have like 12 different options here. And these buttons, every time you switch it over to 1, for instance, now it has a different output. So you can map these to different things. And what's more, why did that skip? For some reason it skipped. It's not touching. Okay, sorry. What's more, the settings of the Artura have it so you can actually have multiple buttons do the same thing. So for instance, here's an example. You can have like number 1, and this would be your brake balance, for instance, up and down. Have it in buttons because you might not want to have it. You want to be more, instead of having it skip, maybe you go up or down too much, or you want to have a bit more fine tuning. It's easier. But you may also want to have your brake balance on the rotary. So I think, I'm not entirely sure, but I think you can also keep that as a button. So you can have your quick access to your brake balance here, but also have the plus and minus buttons. So there's a ton of stuff that I'm still learning. Martin has been very patient with me and showing me around everything. I just want to get to know the steering wheel as much as I can, because a lot of these things that I've explained today and now will also be getting built into the lovely dashboard. So we'll see how that goes. But the idea is that I want the lovely dashboard to be integrated into this wheel as much as possible. So if you're using any of these advanced features, the dashboard will make it simple. It will display all of your options. It will help you create all of these. So instead of trying to remember what's on 3 over here, or what's on 2 or 1, the dashboard will let you know that number 1 is brake balance, for instance. And we can, then you can change your brake balance, for instance. So yeah, that's what's going to happen with the Artura. But that's also what I want to do, create all these tutorials how to do these things, because it is actually very advanced. Like one of the things that I've done, I don't know if you can see it now. I've actually mapped the DDU brightness to this rotary, this funky switch. So watch this. I can lower it directly and go all the way up, brightness. So while I'm racing, I might consider the environment might be not suitable, although I do have true dark mode and the night mode as well on the dashboard. You might say, okay, this is actually too bright. You can just lower it. And have the same on the right rotary for the LEDs on the steering wheel, so I can actually lower these as well. Very, very low. Almost, you can't even see them. Right? Actually, I turned them off. And you can turn them on and even higher. So it's pretty cool things you can do with the steering wheel, and obviously SimHub and the aliases that I showed before. So I hope you guys enjoy these kind of informative tutorials. I'll try and get as many as I can out with things that I think that are interesting. I know the Artura is probably a wheel that, well, you all have so amazing wheels. This is a very specific wheel, but this is the wheel that I have, and this is the wheel that I will be developing on. So yeah, I mean, I think the same tutorial will work with, well, the tutorial for the control mapper works with any wheel and anything you have. But the settings here that I want to do for the Artura will work with any of the Ascher racing steering wheels as well. Hey Bruno, how you doing, man? How are you? I have so many things I can show. The new TDU5 from Turn Racing. I actually have the SDU3 from Simutech. I have not even opened that box. I have not even unboxed it at all. How you guys doing? How you doing? I hope you guys are well, and I hope you guys are enjoying sim racing. I'm fine too, Bruno. No lie. This is actually, I'm fine. I'm just very, very busy. I need to update the dashboard. There's a really big issue that I'm trying to solve. Talking with Nicolas as well. It's something in my code. There's got to be an issue with PEBCAC. You know, problem exists between keyboard and chair, which is the keyboard's here, the chair's behind me, so it's got to be me or the steering wheel. I don't think it's the steering wheel. So yeah, I'm trying to solve a few issues and also trying to get the pit wall out this Friday. Again, this is the second week in a row that I'm trying to get it out, and I am having issues not with the pit wall but with the dashboard, because I need to get the dashboard working. It's a very important part of its roadmap to get this new settings manager up. So yeah, working on it. If you have noticed, I did mention yesterday there's a new hardware partner. So today it's kind of official, and I'm adding SimMagic to my hardware partners. Partnership will start off very soft. It will just be sponsorship in that kind of sense, and the goal is to do more work together with the lovely dashboard with SimMagic as well. SimMagic does not have support for SimHub. That's a notice there for anyone that doesn't know. So their steering wheels, the FX, what's it called, does not have SimHub. It's a proprietary system. But the idea is that we want to bring the lovely dashboard to everything. And that's my goal. SimMagic right now, we're just partnering up. Some hardware is going to come over. I'll be using it. That's pretty much it. But hopefully within the year, we'll have more news on this partnership. I can get into it. I mean, this is a chill chat and dev session, so I can actually do this. There is a problem. There is a problem where this is Nicolas' words. I can open up. So Nicolas, he's not online now, so he's not going to answer. But he told me. So the problem is, I'll show you the problem. Problem is when I'm inside the MFM, I want to basically control. This actually exists today. It exists, but it doesn't exist the way I want it to. It's hard-coded, so the default settings and everything. I want to have the settings in the MFM come from a default settings file. And that's what I'm trying to do. But to do that, I need to pull in the file, see if there is an existing user file with settings, and if there isn't, then go to the default settings. And to do that, I need a few things. But the problem is that the MFM has a slight delay. So when you first launch the dashboard, this script will crash. It will crash. And it's disabled for 30 seconds. But then immediately after, like once it's enabled, everything works perfect. There are no errors anymore. And specifically, Nicolas told me there is a timing issue. Screen roles are checked before variables are updated, which means I need to find a way here to delay this until variables kick in. And that's what I'm trying to do. Unsuccessfully so far. So I need a way for the MFM to delay this function so much until the variables are actually available for me to read and then start working on it. Because the variable here is basically which position the MFM is in, the left or the right. I need to know that in order to display, hide, trigger the active one, you know, what's the default and all that. So this already exists, but it's hard-coded. What I'm doing, the rewrite that I'm doing now, which is also in the roadmap, is I'm rewriting all of the hard-coded default settings of the dashboard to read a default settings file, which will ship with the dashboard. So if you don't have a settings configuration file, it will just work off of that. But this way, it's easy for me to update these settings, and they will affect the entire dashboard without me having to go through each and every piece of code and string of information and update it manually. And this also will allow me to have better integration. Well, not better integration, better partnerships. Like the TK edition will be based on this. So I've done it. I've created a version of that, but now I'm just tweaking the code. As I said, this actually works. It's not wrong code. The thing that I have is not wrong. It's just how SimHub handles the variables inside the widget, inside the screen manager. So right now, it's kind of deep inside SimHub. So this is the dashboard. I go inside the widget, which is right here, and here I manage the screens of the widget, which are all these. And for each screen, this is the code that I manipulate. And this code here initially crashes because we don't have the variable. But once enough time goes by, we actually have the variable, and then everything works fine. So I just need to figure that out. And I'm not good at doing actual code here, so I'm probably doing something stupid. Although I've done this in other places and it works fine, I just don't. I'm not entirely sure how to handle this. So basically, what I'm saying is, it starts off with position MFM, which is the variable that I want to load, is null when it first starts, and it says if it's null, get the variable, which is kind of wrong, I think. Yeah, it does not have a bootloader handler, I think. I'm pretty sure that Nicolau would have said, oh, you can do this. So he didn't mention anything like that. So this is my attempt at, if the position MFM is null, so if we don't have it, attempt to fill it in. And this will keep on looping. This is what it does. It just loops. So when it loops again, if this didn't have anything, it would probably be null again. And it would just try and get it. It'll basically try and get it. And if it's not null, this will only run the first time around. Okay? So it tries to get it. If it doesn't get it, it will return null. So we'll go through that again until it actually finds something. When it finds something, then it's not null, then it just goes in here. And this is where it performs, it fetches the information depending on which side, left or right you are. It gets the settings, and then it just basically triggers depending if there is an active MFM set, use that. If there isn't, just show this module, the MFM. So this is what I'm trying to do. I know this is the error here. So this is not going to return null. This actually crashes. When you attempt to read this, it says no. The computer says no. So what I can do, system log, save handle. What is all this? This is the TD5. Let me shut that down. And go to devices and shut that down. Actually, let me turn off all the devices. I just want to have even the Artura. Just want to have that so I don't get a lot of noise coming in here. All right. So check this out. If I reset, and run a race, it's going to launch. Let me go in there. It's working now, which is fine. As expected, there's no errors here. Let me clear it. Let me hit save on the dashboard. Once it starts running, oh, it's working. Did I fix it right before? Really? No. No, sorry. It's working because I need to do something. I enabled my custom settings, which I shouldn't have. Let me remove my settings, and this is where shit will hit the fan. I need to restart SimHub because history has taught me that if you don't restart SimHub when you change files and stuff like that, then you're probably in for a surprise. And you're probably going to start working on it for the next 30 minutes and not knowing that you just should have restarted SimHub. That prop read variable from file. No, it reads it from SimHub. It's reading it from SimHub. There's the variables in SimHub. When I set the variable, it travels through the main dash to the widget to that. So that's the problem. As you can see now, I don't have any settings. This is the default settings. You can see everything here. It looks as if it's normal. This is what you'd expect to see if you didn't have any settings updated. So this is the default. No images, no names, not even analytics are on. It's very simple. Let me turn this on here. Go to Dash Studio. Edit the dashboard. Good. And let's see. Look at all these. What is it? This is not mine. These aren't my errors. So let me hit save. Actually, you know what I want to do? I want to find that replay. All right. Now you can see it's crashing. So this is what happens. It crashes. But let me do it. Let me do it once more. Let me save and clear the logs. So now it's rebooting. You can see that I'm triggering left and right over here. Nothing's changing. It's actually crashing. All hell is breaking loose, right? No matter what I do, it's not changing anything. It's crashing the script. Now, if I wait, not too much, less than 30 seconds, which is the nominal time that SimHub basically says, you know, it crashed. I'm going to pause it for 30 seconds and wait. Now, if I wait, 30 seconds go by, it'll start working and there will be no errors. There it is. Now it's working. And you can see there are no errors. These errors are completely different things. This is the bitmap data, fine. But there are no errors coming from the dashboard anymore. It's everything just capturing the buttons and everything. What's that serial port? Yeah, that's not me. It's something. It's a serial port, something else. And you can see it's now working. There are no errors now anymore. It's just the initial phase. When you first launch the dashboard, it crashes the script because it can't run it. So I need to find a way to delay that until we have the variable. That also means that until you have the variable, you won't be able to change modules, which is kind of okay. I mean, it doesn't take that long. Irix, Jorg, how you doing, man? Trying to solve the impossible again. I'm rewriting a lot of the stuff that I already have, and that means that I'm stuck in this place where I need to find how to make this thing wait for the variable before it runs anything. But not in SimHub. No, I wish I could. I try to use set timeout. It doesn't work. So this is something I'm trying to figure out. I think the problem here is if position FM is null, I need to see if there is a variable position M available before I set it. So that's something I need to see before. So here, even before I try and do anything, I need to have an if statement and see if the position variable actually is there, it exists. So basically what I want to do is, you know, if position MFM variable exists, then set this. Otherwise, position MFM will be null. And I'll just go back into the loop until it fetches it, because we know it'll fetch it at some point, eventually. Right? Okay. So now I just need to figure out it's gonna crash here. I know. What can I use here? Guys, any ideas what I can do here? No, I don't want to use that. What can I use to see if this thing exists or not? Oh man, my feet hurt. Susie Q, evening. I'm using lovely dashboard stream to my wheel, rim, MFD, even, but not everything makes sense because Susie, you have the man. Irix, who's in the chat, is my GT7 guru. I have no idea. I don't have Gran Turismo. Jorg, aka Irix, is a Gran Turismo driver. So Irix, maybe you can explain why GT7 doesn't have enough telemetry. Well, I can easily say that GT7 doesn't have telemetry. That's basically it. That's the start and end of it. But it's not because of we don't want to have it. You know, don't want to have telemetry. It's just that the sim does not deliver any telemetry. It's just how it is. It's very limited. But I don't know what exists or not. I don't have it. I don't have, you know, Gran Turismo. Yeah, but the thing is, Bruno, you can't actually do that because this isn't the dash waiting for the variables. The variables live in the dashboard. This is for the specific case. So even if I load the dash with a delay, then this will still occur because the widget, when it's loaded inside the screen manager, then it will still do the same thing. So you need to run a code that checks to see if the variable exists and then perform it. If it doesn't, just keep on looping until it gets it. The problem is here. The problem is here. The moment I say prop MFM and it doesn't find it, it crashes it. So I need to find a way to check if this exists without checking if it exists. Ah, bonitas nachos. Oh, now I'm kind of hungry. Got stuck loading old sim parts to make new ones. What are you doing? A transformer, Jeff? What is it? Really? Oh god. Where's Nicolau when you need him? I need to figure out how to do this. So basically, with this code over here, what I want to do with this code is position MFM is the variable that I want, and this is the one that's crashing. So I'm setting it when it first launches, setting it to null. So we know it doesn't exist. And when this is the part that always loops, right? So it says if position MFM is null, then do this. And in here, I need to check if the variable exists. Yeah, Susie, having a dash stripped down to a GT7 CAN display, you can find many dashboards that are so simple. I mean, the dashboard, the Levy dashboard, will display only that's what's available. It will display that already. It's just will be empty. If you want a dashboard that's like super simple, I'm pretty sure you can find something on race department or whatnot. I mean, I will try. This is my goal. I will try and make the Levy dashboard as compatible as possible with the Gran Turismo. Irix is already on it. He's helping me create this version, but the information that we have are so limited that I haven't even attempted to create a version that's optimized for Gran Turismo. It might come in the future, but with Irix, any conversation we've had with Irix, it's like there's like 5 things you can only show. So maybe just a simple dashboard will do. Control console assemblies and rudder pedal assemblies. We take the old one and make new trainers with what we need. My god, your job is playing with Lego. Yeah, Susie, there is no download yet. We need to figure out how we're going to move that into some betas. And if you are a member, then you will have access to it once we release it. Essentially, now there needs to be a version of the Levy dashboard that supports natively. You know, I'm just air quoting because it won't support a lot, but it will have the optimal support for Gran Turismo, which means maps. We don't have maps for. I'm just giving you an example. we hide that MFM. We don't have standings, we hide that MFM. So when you launch the dashboard, you will only have what is available in front of you. It may be empty, but it will only be that. So you won't have the option to, you know, scroll through all the screens. It'll just show you the screens that you have, which in this case I think would only be the lap times, maybe sectors. To be honest, I don't know. I don't know. And Susie, they're not pre-releases. They're actual releases. Just letting you know. There are no pre-releases. There are no betas. If you're a member, the version you download is an actual version. It's just a version, in between version, until we get to the next public release, which will be 2.7. God knows when. Possibly end of April. Maybe going to be pushed a bit back because there's a lot of changes happening. So that, but they're not actually pre-releases or betas or alphas. They're proper versions of the Levy dashboard. It will crash. It will crash, Bruno. So yeah, I mean, this, I can print this, I can return this, and the moment I try to return it, it will crash the script. And when it displays, so let me just do that for you because I know you're curious. I won't do it in here because it doesn't. There's nothing in there. I can just do this. Hold on. I need to go back to my music. Okay, and let's make this a bit readable and a bit more useful there. And let me just return that variable. So you'll see what it is. I mean, return variable position MFM. Perfect. And this will be only on this screen. So you only see it on the right hand side here. It'll return right MFM. That's what the variable holds. That's it. The problem isn't the variable here. The problem is the variable inside the managed screens. This here. Because as yeah, this is not going to work because it's obviously it's not going to work because I have an error here. But as Nicolas mentioned, before it runs this condition, whatever, it tries to get the screen rolls, and that is the delay. And it crashes, and then when it's okay, then it starts running and it's fine. So I need to just figure this bit out. It's going crazy. Actually, let me get something. If I get that, and I say, obviously not the settings, if I say if prop not, if that's null, that is not the case here, and type of is undefined. If it's not available, if it is null, and if it's undefined, then set it to null and move along. Of course, I have to do this for every single. And it's not going to work. I have to go and I have to copy this now to every single one here. Or else it's just going to keep on crashing. I don't even know if it's right, but unless I move it everywhere, it'll just keep on crashing. As you can see, it's not working. Although no errors, because the script crashed in the beginning. It crashed somewhere here in the beginning, and it's not working. But here's the thing, like, I'm currently trying to change it. Now there it is, it's crashing, and it's gonna say, oh no. I'm gonna pause it for 30 seconds. It keeps on crashing. But if I wait long enough, then these will start working, and you'll notice that although it's the same script, now it's working, and no errors. Bitmap data, the error here for the bitmap data is just because it's the map. And no errors now. So now everything's working fine. And you also notice that this is left MFM. And this is right MFM. So variables are now working, everything's perfectly fine. Inputs, everything is tip-top. Everything. This is incredible watching this, really. Oh man. Do you also enjoy people pulling their nails out? This is what I'm doing right now. If only Nicolau was around. But 'tis not. Anyway, this is what I'm trying to fix. So once I have this, I think this is the last hurdle for creating this. And if I have this thing, finally, because it's working. It's not that it's not working. It's perfectly fine. It just crashes at the beginning because it doesn't find the variables. So I need to figure out how to do that without crashing the script beforehand, which is weird, but you know. Maybe if I don't have any of these. But once I have this solved, then I can continue on with releasing the TK edition and updating essentially everything that I want to update. I need to work on the pit wall, and I haven't had time for the pit wall. This is actually more important because this is the evolution of the ecosystem. Once I have this, I can release the TK edition. I can release the curved. Basically, I can create easily more different types, editions, and versions of the lovely dashboard. So this is kind of important before I even go on to the pit wall anymore. Pit wall, I know what the problem is. It's solvable. It's using the track data, but this will also help the pit wall. Maybe it'll work. Maybe this will work. No, it's crashing it. 'Tis crashing it. Yeah, I mean, it's obviously not going... Like, your question is this. In the dashboard, you can see right MFM. That is the variable, right? So if I restart the dashboard, it shows up. Right MFM. It's there. It loads it. The problem is not in this place right here. The problem is inside here, the screen manager. The screen manager, this panel over here, which executes all of these conditions, this is where the problem exists. And that's what I want to do. This is where I want to say, you know what, don't do anything unless you have the variable. But anytime you touch this, it crashes. Which is odd. What if this is just all on? You think maybe because of this? I actually did touch this. Like, the first thing I did was just remove these because I don't want to have them in idle and pit, but I'm like, that's stupid because it won't make a difference for me. These things are hidden anyway. No. Screen rolls, crashing, gone to shit. cannot read property ACC, blah blah blah. It's just crashing everything now until it gets to the point where it will start working again. It's odd. Why is the create pro not ACC? This is actually working. Do I have more problems? Now it's working again, but okay. Bitmap data, fine. Alright, alright, alright. Yeah, it's working. It's not crashing anymore, it's fine. This may not be solvable on the stream. Where can I put this variable? Oh, don't say it. I know you're thinking about it, but don't say it. And I was thinking about where I can put this variable. I already have Jason. I hit him up a lot earlier today. Like in the evening, not earlier. It was like 7 p.m. And he did respond, but now he's probably avoiding me. You know? Having a life. You're seeing it in a different context, Bruno. You should yeah, you should try SimHub. It's very weird. What you're seeing is the variable in a context of the root of the widget here. We don't care about this one. We want it inside the screen manager of the widget. That's where the problem is, because that's where we have the screen roles. So it's not the same thing. So it's not in the same place. So this is where it's going to crash. This ain't working. I just need to figure this thing out. So when this starts, position MFM is null. When it starts, if it's null, try and do this. I wish you could put a set time up 1 second or something. Oh God. Funny thing is, it's working so well when it, you know, actually works. Oh, the other thing is as well. If I have the oh, you see anything wrong here, Bruno? Anything wrong here? This is where I get the user settings file. think I'm doing the same thing here. No, I don't want that. That's stupid what I just did here. Great. Yeah, it's I just was typing out. Obviously it's wrong. Jason will agree with that. It's obviously wrong. The widget, it is called 6K Labs. Go to 6klabs.com, sign in, and you basically will have access. It's a free plugin. And you have a few options. Obviously Spotify, YouTube Music. Can add the profile and have different, like if I change to this, it should change the widget as well. Does it need to save it? I have that. Do I need to change it? Save it? Don't even remember. Hide on pause, blah blah blah, but this is it. 6klabs.com. It's the widget. Yeah, JavaScript and SimHub is local. I don't know how to explain it, but basically what you see here, this will keep on looping and, you know, working until it dies. No, it'll just keep on working. The local, you can have global variables. It's very hard. Actually, you could have global variables, but they work in context to this. So it's actually not what you have like on a website, for instance. It's completely different. And that's what the problem is here. You should try coding in SimHub, Bruno. You should try that. So my problem, I think, is this. I think that's the problem. I'm wasting time now. I'm wasting time. I'm just wasting my time. So now everything is working now. It's like it got past that bit, and now everything's fine. Great. Oh yeah, that'd be great. It will also be great if we could have Max Verstappen on stream as well. So don't get me wrong, they are at the same level, you know, in their game. So yeah, I don't think that would happen. I'm looking at my screen, I'm actually thinking, but my thoughts can't go, you know, I can't project my thoughts. Or I may not be thinking. Maybe I'm just sleeping. I wish I were sleeping right now. Okay, who's your favorite then? I know who your favorite is. It's Lando. Lando's your favorite. I know it. You're a Lando guy. Hey, here's a fun fact. Alonso. Oh, Alonso's your guy. Ah. Okay. Yeah. Alright, so you're with the old guys. Okay, I get it. Old school. Alright, yeah. Fair play. I like him too. I've been watching him my entire life. Oh, Bruno, where am I getting that variable? So that variable is set in the widget in the dashboard variables. And this specific one is coming from the root of the dashboard. And each MFM left and right MFM has edit variables to be, and this is where I set it. So the path of the variable is in the root. Selecting the right MFM, for instance, I pass a variable called position MFM that is right MFM, the value. Okay, I'm passing this in to the widget. Inside the widget, now I'm inside the widget. If I come here and basically say, you know, output the variable, you will see the variable. I'll show you right here. When I go to the lap times, there it is. So it's outputting the variable that I set. And the same thing goes here. This is left MFM, this is right MFM. So this is where the variable comes from into the widget. Now what I need to do is in the screen manager, this is where these are all the screens of the widget. I need to determine which screens are available depending on the sim and depending on the settings that a user has set. And to do that, I need to know if it's the left or the right. So in here, I get the position, and I also get the current sim. And I also get the LD get settings. It's a new function, which possibly this could be the one that's crashing as well. I don't know, maybe it is. Where I just call the current sim and get the active left MFM, active right. This basically just returns a number from the settings file. Jeff, I don't have anything against old guys. I'm one of them. Yeah, Thiago's right. Why can't you stand for Verstappen? What happened? What is it that you don't like about him? Come on, he might be watching a stream. Come on. Spit it out. Dirty driver in a fast car. Well, he was a dirty driver. Nah, he wasn't a dirty driver. He wasn't ever a dirty driver. You can't call that up like that. I mean, he was like he was no more dirty driver than Hamilton or Rosberg or any other world champion has been. I'll remind you what Vettel did to Webber, for instance. You could say he's a dirty driver, but can you actually blame him? These guys are going for the world championship. We can go on and on about this thing, but these are personal opinions, and if you disagree with them, that's fine. You can have your own opinion. What I'm saying is that when Schumacher was gaining all those championships, everyone said he was a shit character. Lewis Hamilton, the same. Vettel, the same. I guess it goes with the territory. Like, if you want to be in that mentality that I'm going to win every single race, or I want to win every single race, your character will not be something many people will like. So, I guess that's where it is. I mean, So I mean, yeah, I mean, I have no problem with the character. He's a world champion and wants to break every single record, and if he can, he'll do it. Multi 21, exactly. Multi 21, Seb. Multi 21. I mean, it's all over the place. Go around, look at it. I mean, I would say that for other drivers, but not for Verstappen. It's not the car. It's not the car. Honestly, if it was the car, then Perez would be far ahead than anyone, but he's not. I mean, when you have such a huge difference with your teammate, like, I mean, we're going into conversations now that have already taken place, and again, these are my personal opinions, which you're feel free to disagree with. But remember, like the championship, Hamilton and Rosberg, they were battling. They were battling, and it wasn't like they had the equal car. Here, I mean, I don't think anyone has ever stood next to Verstappen, even on his first race in Formula 1. When he first went to Red Bull and he won in Spain, there was nothing stopping him. Like, there was no other driver. So, like, Sainz is a good driver. He was nowhere. I just think he's got it. I mean, if there's someone that can actually beat every single record, it will be him. And I don't think that... I actually do believe that Hamilton's records will be short-lived. I think he'll go way beyond that. He's so young. And his records are, like, already, you know, booming. But then again, you never know. You never know. Like, all the rumors, like, he's leaving Red Bull. He might go to Mercedes, for instance, and not do anything else. Because, you know, you do need a good car. Just as Schumacher. Great driver, great car. I mean, that's for me, that's the best reference. You get a great driver in a medium car, he will do really good. You get a really good driver in a bad car, he will do medium. You get a great driver in a great car, he will win every single race. It is the case with most, like, you can't, like, Alonso is not a good driver. I think he's a great driver. But he's not, like, if you put Alonso in a Red Bull car, he will still lose against Verstappen. I guarantee he will lose against it. And if Max or Fernando's on the stream, please put in the chat what you guys think as well. Jason, that's not true. They don't have different cars. Red Bull cannot develop two different cars. Hamilton and Bottas were fighting, man. That's not the case. That's not the case, Jason. Number one driver and two driver. There were two different cars and three different cars way sometime when I was young, but now they can't develop two different cars. They literally cannot develop two different cars. They develop one car. And go find Alex Albon's interview where they asked him about, you know, it's the car and the car is designed around Verstappen, and he's like, no. He drove the car and it's like, the car's friggin' awesome. But it's the same car for everyone. He just knows how to push it. You put him in a tin can, he will drive it faster. It's plain and simple. Like, I don't know how people cannot see that. You put him in a sim, and he beats everyone. It's as simple as that. I mean, the guy is just born to race. And if you can't see that, that's obviously my opinion, but if you can't see that he can race anything you give him, he understands this thing. He understands how these things breathe. Live and breathe, you know, the cars, the traction, everything. I mean, it's plain and simple. Anything he does. Yeah, I mean, no, these are personal opinions. Jeff, you may think, or you may believe that there are two different cars, but as far as I've read and seen, there isn't a budget to have two different cars. They cannot develop two different cars. Not within these, like, that's what the rules are for. As well as, like, when Mercedes makes an engine and they give it to another team, they cannot give them a B spec. They're not allowed to. They have to give them, like, if they make an upgrade on their car, they have to give them the latest spec. It's the rule. On day one. So these are things that have been put in place because of these things. Like, you cannot do that. And because of the budget caps, They cannot develop a second car. And developing a car around one driver is also not correct, because look at, as you said, Adrian Newey. Adrian Newey never designed a car for Senna. He was faster than Prost, and Prost was also really fast. Adrian Newey never designed a car for Williams. He basically designs the best car possible. If the driver can take it to the max, that's max. Great pun. Like that. Nicola, any updates? I'm trying to... I'm lying. I'm chatting. I'm not working on it. But the idea is, yes, there is a few new things coming. There are new dashboard versions coming. There's one, if anyone is interested, a rounded version, curved top. There is a really wide version getting ready of this, a wide version of the Live dashboard. There is Tony Kanaan edition of the Live dashboard. There's a few things coming. There are a few more things coming as well. Updates to the dashboard. As you can see, I'm trying to tweak it beyond the conversation that we had. Settings file are being abstracted from the dashboard, so you can actually have different versions of the dashboard, really easy setup for, like, for the TK edition, for instance, I'm doing for Tony Kanaan. And if there's anyone else or any other like collab that I want to do, it's easier for me to do that. And this is what I'm trying to work on. Other than that, there's in the Discord, there's a channel called Roadmap, and I put everything in there that I know that's coming. So there's also a new MFM. So you know how we have the opponents? So we have the opponents. These opponents will be renamed to track opponents, and will be one new one added called My Opponents. It will only show you the drivers you are racing against. So in your class and in your lap, in your race. So if there's someone you're lapping, you won't see him. If there's someone from a GT, like of a different class, you won't see him. So you will always see the person that's ahead of you that you're racing against. Yeah, that's... Yeah, I don't know what else. I mean, there's so many things that I'm working on, so... Εννοείται ότι είμαι Έλληνας. Nicola. Everything works for iRacing. Everything you see works for iRacing. The only thing that actually doesn't work for iRacing is tires. So iRacing does not give us real-time tire data. We have hot cold data. So what you see in iRacing is when you start the race, cold data. So the tires as they were before when you put them on. And after a pit stop, it shows you the hot data. So you can basically... I don't know how you can use that. Honestly, I don't know how you can use that. So I just display it as it comes from iRacing. Everything else is pretty much there, though, for iRacing. In fact, iRacing also has like up until now, iRacing had, you know, classes and car models which didn't exist in ACC, but now Nicola from SimHub added those as well for ACC. So now I'm also going to add those in the dashboard because now there's more support for popular sims. I mean, iRacing is the most popular. I get it, but I don't use it, so I don't have time to race it at all anyway. But the point is that now that ACC and iRacing are using it, I will also start adding that information as well. So I have a little, you know, car icon and classes. Classes already exist in the dashboard. That's not something I will be adding. It's already there. I think not. I don't think we have damage. In fact, I can go here, look at damage. So, ACC, AC, Automobilista, and Formula 1 have damage. That's it. Yeah, not all sims have all this information. Alright guys, I have to figure this out. I have to figure this out, how to make this thing work. And if Nicolas is not gonna help me tonight, then I need to figure it out on my own. Is there anything else I can work on? Because the dashboard doesn't actually have a problem. The dashboard works, but it doesn't work at first. So now it launches, it doesn't do anything. It's crashing. 30 seconds go by, we have the data, we have the information, it'll start working. Actually, let me do this with you guys. It'll be fun. Let's try this out. Timer. So let me restart it and hit the timer. Alright. So it has been reset. And now if I move it, the widgets don't change in the background, as you can see over here. I'm hitting the buttons and nothing happens. Once this thing goes to 0, 30 seconds will go by. And I'll try it again. Let's see. If my theory is correct, which it is because I already done this, but just so you guys can see. Once it goes to 0. Perfect. Good. They're working now. That's awesome. So I mean, this is what's actually happening. It's crashing. It's crashing when it first launches, and once 30 seconds go by, which is the time that SimHub requires, or it pauses it for 30 seconds, then it's working perfectly fine. So I just need to figure that one out. Yeah, it was great to see you, man, Nicola. Great to see you. Que nexanartis. Every Wednesday we have these chill chat and dev sessions, which are the most boring streams in the entire YouTube universe. But it's fun because I get to chat with you guys, not having to race. Okay. Let me turn on my Artura because I love this. I freaking love this wheel. Oh, there's one. Nicola just asked me if there is more things coming. I don't know if he's still in the stream, but there are more things coming. You can't see it now, but it's crashing because I'm making changes. But there's a brand new dashboard. This one over here. It's called the lovely Dashboard Companion. And it's made for those that want to have a dashboard, main dashboard, a separate DDU, not attached to your steering wheel, and actually have a steering wheel with a screen on it. When I first got the Artura, the first thing that I saw didn't make sense is having two dashboards. Didn't make sense. And then I turned this one off, the big one, and I only had the small one. And again, it didn't make sense. I'm not that much of a fan of screens on wheels. It makes sense for Formula 1 style position, but not for GT the way I'm sitting here. So I'm like, okay, there's got to be something that will make this thing more useful. Like the screen has to have a purpose and improve the experience. And then I thought, I'll put the map. But putting a map from SimHub on a screen doesn't always provide the best experience because maps are, they're skewed, they're small. They're ugly, for instance. And I came up with a way to have the map, but manipulate every single map in a way that makes it fit inside the screen in the perfect way. So rotate it, resize it, and change the width of the road so it always matches. So I don't know if you notice here, I don't know if it's big enough, maybe I can switch over here, which is big enough. You'll see that the numbers are actually rotated. I can't re-rotate these, but the actual map, was like this. This is the actual orientation of the map coming from SimHub, and you can see in the wheel it's rotated. So the idea is that in the track data that I already have launched, for every track in ACC, I'll do that. I'll have specific settings, customization, to fit the companion in this screen. And then you can also add that for any sim that you want to. It'll also be something that you guys can do as well. Racing Principal asks about the weather in iRacing. Yes, it will be updated. I had a chat with Nicolas, and he mentioned that there isn't full weather conditions. I haven't touched them, so I'm probably not knowledgeable enough to answer that question. What I can answer is yes, weather will be added from iRacing into the dashboard. It is obviously something we want to do. The entire world wants it. Like, everyone wants weather. So I will be adding it. It's just there are other priorities right now. Like weather, you know, you're driving your car in iRacing, just open the window, look outside. If it's raining, it's raining. No, I'm just kidding, obviously. Yeah, it will be added. Just need to find the time to actually do that. .25, not 2.6. Don't lie. SimHub 9.2.5. What, he came out with a new version? 2.6? Really? Oh, it's a, yeah. What was updated today? Hotfix ambient light capture freeze but not working. Okay. So 9.2.5 came out, and the 9.2.6 was a hotfix for the ambient light capture. Okay. What I can do... Yeah, Jeff, I just noticed, but the 2.6 version is just a hotfix for ambient lighting, whatnot. Which, I'm going to close my dash now. I want to go see what he's done with... Because I think he mentioned there's support for multi-screen hue lights. Is it true? My light's now changing because they're now doing this. These are the lights. Okay. Capture. Default monitor, specific monitor. Okay, but can you have multi-monitor? What was the support for both ambient light and replay recording at the same time, the same monitor? Support for multiple monitor ambient light capture. What am I doing wrong then? Color effects. What am I doing wrong? Am I doing anything wrong? I don't know. Let me know. So does it have... Default profile? I don't know what that is. I understood that it had support for multiple monitor ambient light capture. So not multiple monitor. You can't have all these. You can select which monitor. That's what it is. It's not that you can have... Because ideally I would have all three monitors. Sorry, something's in my eye. I'd have all three monitors and have this thing over here on the third monitor, like on the right, and that one on the left on the windows, basically for the light coming in. I don't think that's a thing. I don't think that's a thing. Don't thing. It's a thing. No idea what's going on. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Device clock. So you scene settings, brightness. Turn off lights when monitor is sleeping. No. Scene mode, light, dark, auto. Lights, brightness, luminosity, brightness. Yeah, okay. No. Controls, toggle screen. Capture, enable, disable. So I already have enable, disable here, which is a little button for HuSync, which basically turns on SimHub HuSync. If I hit disable, should go back to normal now. Doesn't it? It doesn't. Ooh, wait. Okay, let me do this. Control mapper. Assign roles. Let me add HuSync here. HuSync belt. Good. And now controls. Refresh. Going back to the list of all the options that I have. HuSync. Controls. What? This. Clear. Click to configure. HuSync. Save. And now I'm coming here and I want to say trigger what? What do I trigger? The HuSync. Right? So now there it is. 'Tis working now. Turn it on for my Stream Deck. What I need to do is change this icon to the lovely icons. HuSync. There is no on off. I'm going to delete the old one, and that one is there. Good, so now my button here I can turn on and turn off using the mapping. And as I did say in the beginning, I can also map on my steering wheel the same exact thing. So for instance, because I did it once, I'll show it to you guys again. In the Artura Ultimate here, for instance, I can go all the way down. Come here and go all the way, find, where is it? Engine map, where is it? HuSync. And now if I click on a button on the steering wheel, do I have anything that's not assigned? I think I've assigned everything. Mute isn't working, so I can just hit that. So I'll just remove it from mute. Okay, so now if here, if I do this, it turns on the HuSync and off. It's pretty awesome. Which portion are you referring to, Jeff? Which portion of that video is the one that you are interested in? I'm sad because I couldn't fix the dashboard. Well, not really sad, but you know. I'll fix it. It's just taking too much time. Yeah, I mean, I can make a new video tutorial about how HuSync works, but again, Alex K on YouTube, Just Google Alex K. You'll see his channel. He has 2 really, really good videos. It's what I saw and set it up. This video, this live stream, I will chop up the first bit and release it as a separate video, which regards the control mapper in SimHub. Going from 0 and mapping any aliases to all your steering wheels and having them work with the same aliases, so you can just swap out steering wheels and not care if your mapping in the game is correct. It'll always be correct. And that's what I'll be releasing as a new video as well. Alright, obviously I'm not going to get anything done. Obviously I'm not getting anything done. What time is it? It's 11. Should I hop in and do one race? 11:08. I'd probably have like just 2 minutes to sign up if I wanted to. Now I'm too tired. All right. I think this is yeah, but now you can do it. I mean, think of it this way, Jeff, and everyone else in the chat and watching this at some point in time in the future. If it's in SimHub, you can't control it. It's as simple as that. So now that SimHub actually has the ambient lights and everything, you can control them. And with the control mapper, it's easy to do that. So with the control mapper and the Stream Deck plugin, you have everything at your fingertips. Like, you can put it on your steering wheel, you can put it on your Stream Deck, you can put it anywhere. Like, it's as simple as that. Yeah, you can map everything. And to be honest, just as you go, you just keep on adding new aliases to control mapper. It has 128 inputs. You just keep on adding aliases. 128 across all your games. I don't think you'd ever reach that number, because a lot of it is common, right? So shift up, down, it's common through all the sims. So those are gone. You know, ABS, traction control, engine mapping, all that. This is literally stuff that you will use and reuse again and again and again. So I think it's more than enough, to be honest. You said Alex K. I did say Alex K. Let me see if I can pick up the video. Hold on. Caller. Let me look. Alex K. So this is his channel. Sim Racing Ambient Lighting is not better than ever. About a month ago, and he has one more. The Hue, there it is, the Ultimate Sim Racing. But I think this is what you need. So he has a video here, how you can. Shit! I'm not even showing you guys. What am I doing? So this is Alex K. Right? Okay, and he has a video over here, how you can set up the Hue lights, and then he came out with this video. I'll mute. I've watched it. This is what I used. And it basically shows you how you can set up the Hue lights with SimHub. It's a great video, great tutorial. It's got everything in here. But most importantly, this is the bit that you want, the sim hub part. This is the bit that you need. Yeah, I mean, it's simple. It's simple. I mean, everything between all the software that we have, it's just a matter of setting it up and forgetting about it. That's why I enjoyed the control mapper. As I said, you can just remove this. In fact, you don't need to remove it. Like, the funny thing is, like, I can just use two wheels, like the controllers, and they would both work at the same time. So it's really easy just swapping out the steering wheel, you know, popping it off, putting something else on. You obviously will know where each control is on the steering wheel, but you don't need to remap it to the game. The game will expect the aliases coming from SimHub. That's it. Yeah, it is. But in his video where he actually no, in the SimHub video, he also explains where to put, like, he's done a lot of research. You know, he's tried it. So instead of you trying to figure it out, just watch the video and you will find out a lot about that, how he set it up, and it helps. It helps a lot. Even before SimHub, I was using HuSync. I had it in the same places approximately, but I actually got excited about 9.2.5 version of SimHub because I thought you can actually have triple monitor detection and capture, but you can't. I misinterpreted the fact that it says support for multiple monitor ambient light capture. That's the bit I guess I misinterpreted. That's actually true. Can you have profiles here? That'd be cool if you can have profiles. Wait a minute. Profile manager? Per game? Dude? Jeff? Problem solved? It's solved? Check this out. Activate automatically the best matching profile for game and car. So I'm pretty sure, like, if you edit this, set the current game, you can actually have I don't know how you do this. Export profile, load this profile, blah blah blah. Edit profile. Clone profile, pause, profile manager. There's gotta be somewhere. Scene settings, there's got to be somewhere for game settings. I don't know how to do it, and I honestly only changed car between seasons, so. and we shouldn't say things we shouldn't mention, which is okay. All right, I think I'm going to close the stream. I'm gonna spend some time on the dashboard, trying to figure out the problem. The problem I'm having with the dashboard exists only when there isn't a custom settings file from the user. If I add that, everything works fine. So that's my problem, and I need to hone that information and put it into a nice little package and see what I can do. Do you have, of course you didn't say which government. You wouldn't want to say that one. Just in case, don't say anything wrong, you know? Fun story, unrelated to Jeff's unrelated to Jeff's conversation, fun story. I was talking with as I said, unrelated to Jeff. Was talking for work a couple of years ago. We were working with the office in Beijing, and I was working with, because the time zones are killer, even with Europe. So he was usually at his house at 8 p.m., 9 p.m., and we were working and we were talking about projects and stuff like that. And at some point during, like, you know, we were working together for almost a year. Sometime in the middle of that, like after 6 months or something, our conversations could not be had. Like, I was talking, huge delay, audio was chopped up. It was bad. Like, it was never like that. I'm like, dude, what's wrong? I mean, my internet's fine. What's wrong? He's like, oh, our building is under surveillance. I'm like, what do you mean? Well, you know, like every now and then the government just puts a sticker or whatever and says, you know, this building is under surveillance. And I was like, holy shit. But then again, I mean, it's probably normal there. It's just that we don't know things like, actually, it happens to us as well. I'm pretty sure someone's listening in, not this stream particular, because, you know, it's about SimHub. Who cares about SimHub? But I'm pretty sure it's happening in other places as well. It's just that it was so, you know, your building is currently under surveillance for no apparent reason. Obviously, we're just, it's nothing. It's just standard. So, fun fact, unrelated to Jeff. All right, guys, I will be switching over to my supporters and thanking every single one of you. You are a lot. And it's only fueling me to do even more. Let me turn off QSync. That's awesome. This button actually works. I fixed that on stream and it works great. So thank you very much for supporting me. I really do want to increase the number of members. That's why I'm working day and night. I'm working 20-hour days. Honestly, I'm missing my sleep. I did take a break in a weekend and it was great, but ever since I got back, it's been pushing non-stop. And it's not just for the dashboard, it's also partnerships, things that are coming, community races, new products, new collaborations, new features for product-specific features. There are so many things that are being developed at the same time that I actually don't know how I'm going to do everything, but I'm not stressed about that. It's just time. And, you know, although not infinite, we do have a lot of time. So hopefully I'll be able to do everything that I'm thinking about. So please, if you're watching this stream, if you're enjoying these streams, if you're enjoying the lovely dashboard and any of the other products that exist or are coming, please consider becoming a lovely member. By becoming a lovely member, any paid tier gets all of the early versions of the lovely dashboard. They're not pre-releases, they're not betas, they're not alphas. They are versions, full versions, in between major releases. So between 2.6 and 2.7, there are multiple releases. As a paid member, you have access to all of these. These bring new features, tweaks, fixes, a whole bunch of stuff. So all paid members get that. And if you want to go a step further, you can become a pro member and have access to the pit wall. The pit wall is still being developed. It is a work in progress. That one is a beta. But the thing is, your feedback makes it better. And although I tried to get a release last Friday, I'm going to try and get one this Friday. The pit wall is a huge time-consuming project that, as much as I want to push forward and fast, it can't move as fast as the dashboard, unfortunately. But hopefully, feedback that I'm receiving from my partners and collaborators will make it better, faster. And if you want to go a step further, you can become a gold member. A gold member is a pro member that gets an exclusive gold member sticker. Literally, only gold members can get these stickers. Not even, I have 2 downstairs just for showing. I haven't stuck them anywhere because I only want you as a gold member to have these stickers. So it will be exclusively and forever be exclusive to gold members. So once you sign up, I immediately head on over, print, and send you a gold lovely member sticker. Obviously, the value of the sticker is just, it's a sticker. But the fact that no one else will have it, it's a private release only for gold members. It's for you. And I thank you very much for supporting me as well. And the gold members so far to this date, we have Anthony Hall, Augustine Martin, John Hart, Cody Forrest, Corey Wise, Dan Westerman, Daniel Newman, David Beam, Enrique Castillo, Brian Spiragos, Graham Baptiste, Jeff King, Iñaki Duranona, Jason Rivera. Clapping is for those that were actually on the stream today. I had a chance to talk to them. Jared Davis, Chris Rollins, Marianne Christel, Michael Poliaro, Brad Jackson, Robert Robles, Rita Brulman, Sean Reed, Simon Tunin, Thiago Silva, Tobias Hoff, William Martin, Josh Fulton, Mark Worthington, and Mark Gale. Thank you very much for joining me in this journey and supporting me. If I was about to say something about if you don't want to support me, but I won't say that because I want you to support me. I want this to become something I can work on more time every month and every week and every day. Currently, I'm developing everything that you see for the lovely dashboard. Everything is being developed on my spare time. So if you don't believe me, you should talk to my wife. If she's still here. Who knows? I haven't seen her today. I literally work from home and we speak during lunch, maybe. So yeah, please consider supporting me. I need to make this thing work. We can make this thing work together. The lovely dashboard can become much better, can become a project that supports every sim on the market. It can become a project that supports all of your needs as well. And obviously, like and subscribe on YouTube. What is it? X, Twitter, Threads, just go on over there. And I've added, for the first time in this video description, I've added a few new partnerships and affiliates. Go take a look at those if you want. I will be adding more. So I will be adding affiliate account for Ascher Racing. I already have Simutech. SimMagic will be added. Turn will be added. Ascher Racing will be added. SimDash exists. So yeah. Go ahead, use those links if you want to buy anything from these companies. I will be adding more, and I will also have a channel in Discord specific to my partners and partnerships and what you can benefit as well. All right. Mark, next live will be tomorrow. I will be back at Paul Ricard racing a bit, you know, getting my mind off of all this thing. But until then, I will say goodnight, and I need to get back to the dashboard development. So thank you very much for joining me. I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great evening, morning, night, wherever you are in the world. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.
Going up, got this club going up. But your body moving to the beat.